Ooh, how we doing, guys? Ooh, exciting. Let me bring the comments and everything up. Oh, my mobile live dashboard. Actually, my phone's pretty low. My iPad's pretty low too, to be fair. Let's actually get it on my blue slime. Just getting everything set up really quick. Yep, that's what I'm doing today. I'm going to be animating on my iPad Pro. So this app is called Animate. Oh, hold on, my sound's on. But at least I know the sound's working. Anyway, this is called Animation Desk. I've been using this to animate. Here's my slime. In case you were curious, it actually shows up on this screen, which is cool. I'm mirroring with a, this was interesting. This was one of the first things I animated. Channel ideas. I don't know what this is. It's an uncolored version of my channel welcome thing. And this is another one for my channel welcome thing. So, we can go sequence and storyboard, which I haven't done any storyboards in here yet. I usually do my storyboards on paper. Hold on, where's my... It's behind me, because of course it is. This is my sketchbook. I usually do all of my storyboards in paper. So you guys will actually see some of these in... I think you already saw them in my Learn to Draw Weekly this week. If you guys have been watching that. So this is a storyboard. This is the storyboard we're going to be doing today. We're going to be turning the storyboard into an animation. It's a storytime storyboard, and I have yet to record the audio. I usually like to record the audio before I do the animation, but we're just going to work on it a little bit today. So we're going to be working from this storyboard. Can you guys see me? Yeah, okay, you can see me. I thought for a minute that you couldn't. Alright, stay. So this is probably going to take a while. We want a new sequence. We're just going to use blank. And 12 by 24 is pretty much what I usually go with. Oops, I always forget to name the project. This is a story time. I don't want it to be 1 to 2 words. So this is the basic, what you start out with, basically. This is the frames down here. You guys can see the frames down here, right? So this controls everything down here. The aspect ratio, you can put the aspect ratio up depending on if it's 16 by 9 or 4 by 3. I like to keep it in 4 by 3 usually, but the welcome to my channel I wanted to be 16 by 9, and I messed up the frames. If you guys saw that on Twitter, I messed up the frames there. To add a new frame, you don't even need to add a new frame. There's already new frames here. So much like a flip book. If you've ever made a flip book, that's exactly what it is, except it's all digital, which is cool. There's also layers. So you have layers. You can do layers or whatever. The background, it's already separate from the background layer, so you don't have a problem like I do in Photoshop where it's separate. Don't have that problem where I have to remember. Here's the basic onion skin. This is a walk cycle you can put in, which is pretty cool. There's a whole bunch of stuff in this app. I love it. The toolbar is on, the paper flip effect's on, the current layer on top is off, and velocity sensitivity is on, stylus is on. I'm using the Apple Pencil. That is what I'm using. So now that we got that all sorted, the storyboard, we're gonna do... There's a whole bunch of tools here, if you guys can see. This is like the size, the opacity, and like the brush grain. It's down here in the corner. Let me see, can I tap that and show you? Yeah. So that's the brush grain. Some of them are locked because I only have the trial version, but so they've got like a blender, a pencil, and stuff like that. We're gonna work in pencil first. Then you can choose your colors and stuff. There's a whole color wheel and stuff, which is nice. And then the frames. So I actually find this is easier to work in than Animate CC or Flash. And the reason for that is because of how simple the animation bar is, but there's definitely less you can do. So you can repeat a frame if you've put a frame in, you can insert an image, or you can duplicate the frame. So that's really all you can do. There's not anything too different. Hi Jason T Gaming, what's up? We're animating today. We are not gaming today. Usually I game, but on Wednesdays I do art. Anyway, we're actually going to make this pencil a little bit bigger. Because we're going to do the title page. And this is all sketches, right? So it doesn't have to be perfect. We're just sketching. You can actually see there's a little bit of lag here. It's because I am duplicating it, and I'm animating, and I'm screen sharing, and I'm doing all these things on my iPad. My poor iPad is just dying, so it is a little bit laggy. I'm gonna be using a calligraphy brush to do the title panels, but for now we're just gonna do a sketch here really quick. And this page, because we want it to go for a little bit longer, I like to duplicate the pages. Why can't I spell today? Is there a reason? So I like to duplicate the frames here. We're going to copy, I think 5 frames should be good at a speed. Let's see. Yep. Actually, we can duplicate that again. Let's duplicate more of them. Probably 10 frames. Let's see. Let's see how long that goes. Yep. So you can read that, and that's essentially what I wanted to do. So it duplicated the frame. So if I wanted to change it for the frame, I could. Because we want to hold it there for a while, we duplicated it. Right? So this is the next. If you see in the onion skin, the layer is lighter. So like this is not onion skin, this is on the page, and then this is onion skin, right? Okay, so we don't really need the onion skin for this. I actually always keep the onion skin on because it's weird to go through and change it. But we are not doing that today. We're keeping the onion skin on. And my first panel in this story board here was a couple of pictures from when I was little. So we're gonna draw a little me, which is fun, right? This pencil is actually a little bit too big. There's a, the button up here in the top corner is off, or undo. So we're going to be drawing a me there. We want to maybe keep the aspect ratio on. You see how I went over there? See how it's on? So like this is a 16:9 ratio, and this is a 4:9. Or this is 16:9, and this is 4:9. So when I render this out, I want to render it at 4:9 and not 16:9 because it'll cut everything off. So just remember that. We're actually going to do a chibi style. Now the only problem I have with this particular app that I'm using is the brushes are not so good. So I changed the brush size down a little bit. And as you can see, the brushes are super scratchy. Like, they're just really scratchy. It's really hard. Plus, I mean, it's lagging. You guys can probably actually see the lag. Let me see if you can see the lag. No, you can't actually see the lag. But it is lagging a little bit on my end, which is really annoying. I'm going to have to do slow strokes like I'm inking, even though I'm not. I don't know if I can do slow strokes when I'm sketching. I do have base sketches over here. This eye is not correct. Oh well, it's just a sketch. We'll fix it later. So for this picture in particular, if you want to switch between eraser and pencil, you have to go into the other frame, which I find a little bit annoying. I wish the eraser would change. Yes, this is the Apple Pencil. I have the 9.7-inch iPad Pro. You pick it up here so you can see. So this is what I'm working on. I am mirroring the iPad to my computer and then screen sharing from there. So that is how I'm streaming today. Pretty interesting. I love my Apple Pencil and my iPad. My only regret was, if you're going to get an Apple Pencil and an iPad for drawing, get the bigger iPad. The 9.7 fits on my desk really nicely, but it's just too small. It just is too small. So, yeah, get the bigger iPad. Even if you don't think you'll need it, I would suggest getting the bigger iPad. So her arms are going to be actually up like this. So she's really not going to have too much of a neck here. It's a very cartoony style. I was inspired to do a story time video by some of the YouTubers that I watch. I watch a lot of animation channels. I was a pretty tubby kid. I was a pretty tubby kid, but I don't think that is the correct... you gotta make sure that you go back to the pencil before you go back into the frames. There we go. So we want to keep it about there. And I always wear t-shirts, even when I was little. So we're gonna have like a t-shirt there. So yeah, this is the Apple Pencil and the iPad Pro. Again, I'm a huge fan. Huge fan of these things. Some of these sketches are not going so well. So I love this app a lot, but the sketches don't go very well. My iPad sketches definitely go better. In Procreate. But if you want to do sketching, that's a totally different app than Animate. This is Animate Desk. It's just, you Google Animate in the iPad store and this is what comes up. It's actually pretty easy to use, which I like. So the line "when I was little" isn't very long, so we're just gonna do some basic waving, I think. Now, these go really quickly, so you have to do an animation that is quick, I'd say. By the way, the Titanic is on in the other room, and it's very loud. I hope you guys can't hear it. If you can hear it, let me know. I'll go turn the TV down. Nobody's here, but it's really loud over there. Masterpiece. A masterpiece is playing in that movie. In that room. Whew. But yeah, so this app is not very indicative to drawing. What you can do is you can bring over a sketch from either a picture or Procreate and put it into here. But I'm not going to do that right now, because my sketches that I did for the storyboard are pretty sketchy too. Like, these are the sketches that I did. Hard to see. You saw these if you watched my Learn to Draw Weekly this week. These are the sketches for the storyboard. This is just a sketch for the animation. You want to make sure an animation runs right before you animate it. These circles are not going so well. And this nose needs more roundness. So if you think a kid, you think round, right? At least I think round. Kind of sounds like Jurassic Park is going on in there, and I know it's not Jurassic Park. That just makes me nostalgic for Jurassic Park, though. We're not going to go so low with this line here. The way it is. You see the way the brush actually, like, looks really laggy? It doesn't look like that in Procreate. That's just a byproduct of this particular program. I had long hair even when I was little, so we're gonna keep a long hair aesthetic. After you color it, when you get everything done and you color it, it doesn't look this bad. Let me show just as a suggestion. This will save. It saves all the time, right? So this is saved right now. See how there's a little bit of movement? That's about as far as we got. That was just a walk animation cycle But this one is probably my masterpiece. And it flips back and forth. So when you color it, you can tell the difference. You can really... It looks much better. So we're definitely going to be coloring this. But yeah, it just looks better. Because the line quality is not so good. But even on the slime, the line quality doesn't look good and it plays fine. So, okay. So we are here. So when I was little is about 3 seconds. When I was little, if I slow it down, it's about 3 seconds. And so we don't want something too big. But maybe we'll go with something. That eye is really bothering me. Oh, gosh, it's in blue all of a sudden, or green, what the heck? Sometimes it changes colors on you when you go out of the program. No idea why. It just does. Otherwise it works fine. There's just some little kinks that the project has, or that the software has. So, let's see. I guess we'll go down now. You want to draw simple when you animate. I've been reading a whole bunch of animation books. And I think I'm going to want to start simple. No, we don't want to go down that far. We're just going to erase all that. Because we went up, now we're going to go straight and then down again. There's no real anticipation here. And I want to keep the arms about the same even though they're stick arms. You know what I mean? They're not fabulously detailed arms. I can draw hands, just so you know. I can draw hands. But, I'm not going to for this little animation that I'm doing. Not going to. Going to be just, you know. I'm going to be drawing in this style for this particular animation. The lines look so bad big. Oh, my phone died. No, it didn't die. It was just asleep. Okay, we're good. Sometimes streams freeze on my phone. I don't know why that is. But yeah, there's no color, so this is bound to not look so good right now. Don't mind. I have only been drawing for, I don't know, I haven't even had my 2-year anniversary yet. So someone came in on my Learn to Draw Weekly channel the other day and was like, your drawings are not good. I'm like, okay. Were your drawings good at 2? Did you start from infancy? Were your drawings really good at 2 years old? Because I'm not even at 2 yet. So, yeah. I had a neighbor came over. We had neighbors that moved in. And, she was nice. You know, they're both very, very nice people. And, I'm always really hesitant to show my work to anybody because of the reaction that I got of just, well, maybe if you learn more, you'll get better. Yeah, that's what learning how to draw is. I'm already 20 frames in, like, I'm already 20 frames in, so I've drawn, well, technically I repeated that first one a couple times, but I've already drawn a couple of pieces, so animations are hard. You want to keep simple and easy to draw lines. What I wish I could do in this program that I can't, and I know I can do it in other programs. Okay, so I want this particular animation to loop, right? So my kid self would go like this pretty often, like to wave. So I want the animation to loop multiple times. I want her, so we started like this, go up, go down, or middle, down, up, down, middle, up, middle, down again. Just do it twice. But you can't do that. If I want to do that, I have to draw it twice because it's like a paper. It's like paper, or like a paper version of digitally, a digital paper version, right? Hear people yelling outside. That's the one problem with living in a neighborhood. I've never lived in a neighborhood before, and it's really strange. It's really strange to live in a neighborhood with other people. That was weird. Everything kind of like froze for a second and then caught up. It didn't do it on my PC, it just did it on the stream. Hope we don't lose internet. Because that has happened. It's not raining or anything, so. We're going to keep that adorable little nose that happened. You draw the same thing multiple times and it's bound to get better. Yeah. No, we're doing alright. Oh, that line dragged out a little bit. Oh, did the stream die? Is everybody still here? It looks like the stream died for a minute and then came back. The weirdest thing happened on Twitch to me when I first came on a stream. I was a little freaked out today. Because when I came on to stream, my channel wasn't here. So, you know, when I go to my channel on Twitch, I go to the top part. There's a drop-down menu, right? And I hit channel, and it brings me to my channel, and I can, you know, make sure everything's working okay, make sure the page is there. It wouldn't let me do it. It was all grayed out. My video manager, my dashboard, and my channel were all grayed out. I was like, excuse me, Twitch? Excuse me? So I don't know what they were doing, but it scared me. Please don't do that again, Twitch. It scared me. Okay, so where are we in this movement that we're doing? So this is the front movement is like this. And then we move it middle. Right? And then down. And now we're going to go back up again. Or we're going to go middle and then up again. But yeah. Let's actually see how this is going so far. So it just goes down and then it's gone. We're only on frame 21 right now, which is not so far considering we you know, repeated some frames. Sorry, I needed some water. I am thirsty as anything. So I usually start with the shoulders here because that's the pinnacle of this movement. If you don't understand a movement, I've been learning how to just do the movement and think about, you know what I mean? Think about what you're doing. If you were to do this movement, how would you look? How would your arms look? How would your shoulders look? Now draw that. And that's how you animate. Gave you a second to think, right? Oh. Okay, so I usually start with the shoulders and the base of the body. Now, if I were to do a more complex thing, I'd probably be doing lines of action with my sketches. But because it's such an easy movement here, I am not going to do that. Now we always start with the same part of the hair, because that's just the part of the hair that I'm aware of. Okay. It's pretty hard to concentrate and draw at the same time and talk. I commend people who do it so easily. Whoop. Shaky lines everywhere. Right? We're doing pretty good, I think. We're gonna leave this line. I wanted to do kind of like a hair sway in the background. So if you noticed on the previous one, her hair was sideways like that. And then it was moving up. So she was moving more sideways. Almost, right? Oh, I forgot a line there. The only problem with the onion skin being there is sometimes I miss a line. There's no shading or anything. I'm going to be shading with color. So that's a thing that I'll be doing. What do you guys think so far? Pretty alright? I mean, besides the scribbly sketches. We're going to go up now. There is a way to insert frames, but it's just a pain in the butt to do. So if you miss a frame and you need to do it, you know, it'll be fine. Oh, that is way too long. You want to keep the arms about the same length. They're not going to go too crazy different, even though they're moving. Yep. I want to keep that straight. These are underlined sketches, so it's important to make them scratchy and different than what they should look. They should look exactly like you're supposed to make them look, but, you know, if you need to iterate, that's what I think sketches should be, at least. We're probably not going to be able to bring this whole thing to completion today, because it's going to take me a really long time to do this. But you guys can see how I've been working in this animate thing. I was originally going to do this on paper, do the animation completely on paper and make it an animatic instead. Now animatics are, they're just shot for shot videos, so you do the video, right? And we're going to have this side this way, and this side this way. Yeah, like she swayed to the other side. This is a really shaky line. Sometimes the Apple Pencil will do that. I don't know if it's the Apple Pencil or the software, because it works better in... Oh, see, I missed a whole bunch of lines here. Oops. Want to make sure we get everything working. That is not the correct line placement for that. Let's get an eraser in here. Ah! It's fine. We're fine. I shouldn't have even needed to erase that, honestly. I could have just gone over it with the pencil again, but this is going to get filled in black anyway. So yeah. That's better. Okay, so that's the first line when I was little. Let's see if it... don't we have to go up again? Did we miss one? Yeah, we have to go up again. Let's see what it looks like so far. Yep, we have to go up again. Looks good so far, honestly. The animation looks fluid and actually looks like movement, which is what you want, definitely. So this is like... It's up, but it's not up enough. I think it needs to be up more. And we could change the other slide to make it look like she's moving up more, or we could just add another frame, because we technically are moving her. She's moving her arms up more, so let's move her arms up more. You know what I mean? It's like a digital flip book. It's fun. That is a really long chin. Now I know what was wrong with the other. Yeah, we want the chin here. This will probably be shadow in the final. In the final there. Try not to forget any lines. The onion skin, I wish I could make it a little bit lighter. Just a little bit. Not super much lighter, but definitely lighter. So what's up with everybody today? How was everybody's day today? I had math class, and it was one of those days where I'm losing my mind. Granted, not very different from every other day, but definitely losing my mind. There's also a party next door. I didn't really want to go, honestly, but I went, and it was alright. It's pretty alright. The food was good. So there's that. I think her mouth is getting bigger. I think that might be what's happening. And that one eye being a dot makes her look mad. So we'll change that. Make the pupils bigger. Okay, so the next frame, if we take a look in there. So I'm animating every single one of these frames in the storyboard, right? So this is a storyboard here. This one's going to be really easy to animate. It's a little loading screen. So that's fun. But this is not really an animate, so we're going to have the frame repeat. It's staring into your soul. Yeah, it does that. It's because it's an animation, so it's gonna move. Let's take a look at what it looks like right now. Hello, play. So I think that stays about when I was little. I usually do the audio first and then match it up to the audio, but match the animation up to the audio, but how I discovered the internet it might actually be too short. We might have to add some extras. How I discovered the internet, yeah. Yeah, we might have to make that a little bit bigger, actually longer. So how we do that is we just add frames. Now what we could do is we could repeat the frame. We don't really want to do that. Oops, we don't want to add any more fresh frames. Yeah, I think we're just gonna add more frames. We're just gonna add more frames. All the frames, we're gonna have her do it again. We're gonna go down now again. I don't really like repeating it over and over again. Doing the same motion over and over again, but 3 times shouldn't be too bad. It looks like the animation's too short to see what it is. You guys know what I mean? I want it to be concise and clear. That's just how I am, though. It's concise and clear. It is staring into your soul. How do you think you fix a drawing that's staring into your soul? Maybe we'll go out and do some regular drawing after this, so I don't look like somebody who's not good at drawing. Because I'm not the worst artist I've ever seen, at least. I'm not so bad that I don't ever want to draw again. These are just not so good sketches. But I'm trying to sketch out an animation. You want to make sure it runs before you get it good. You know what I mean? My hair kind of does do that on the top. It goes like this. My hair was actually parted down the middle and I had bangs when I was little. So we're trying to capture that little bit of my soul. It's only been, what, half an hour? It's only been half an hour, I think. How's it looking so far? Yeah, that looks better even with just that extra frame. Maybe we'll go into Procreate here and draw something for a warm-up. Let's draw some nicer things, yeah? I've been using my Procreate to sketch. So these are some of the sketches that I was doing from an anatomy book the other day. I have a really interesting cartoony style. This is the first time I've ever drawn a horse. The horse is huge compared to the rider, and that was intentional, actually. This is I'm actually in the middle of this. I'm airbrushing this. Let's actually do some of this. That's too yellow. Color picker is hard. So I'm actually airbrushing pretty much everything about this, which is fun. And if you see, I'm actually on the layer underneath, so the sketch is on top and the layer is underneath. And the reason why I'm doing this is to work with color and airbrushing. It's one of my favorite things to do. So we're working. This is one of my OCs, Naname. She's pretty fun to draw, honestly. Her legs look awesome. I'm really happy with the way the legs turned out. And we're staying with kind of like a red palette for her. I don't like cool blues, so we're keeping with a pastel-y type of palette. And what's cool about airbrushes is if you want to get a darker color, you just make the airbrush smaller, which is cool. She's got no face right now. This is just a sketch. But she will have a face eventually. I'm not exactly sure what color I want the sash. See how much better it is when you color it? Everything's better when you color it, honestly. Okay. Oh, went a little bit further out. Isn't it cool that everything that I do on my iPad is up there? It's just easier to make that bigger. Because that part is part of her chest, and I didn't realize. Let's do the color picker. Right. Okay. I wanted it to make it a little bit darker, but I don't know. I didn't even have to make the shadows a different color because I could just make them smaller, which is fun. Which is pretty fun, honestly. Yeah, this is actually a different color. Right there. So we're covering that up. Coloring is just so much more relaxing than animating. I'm always so nervous when I animate, but when I color, especially airbrush, it's just much more fun. I lost my confidence and moved on to this. Look at I love the way the fabric moves in this piece. Just look at the way that arm fabric moves. There's like a whole ripple in there that just looks gorgeous. I'm a fan. Not of myself, though. It's funny. I don't think any artist is a fan of themselves. Maybe really stuck up ones. I'm just a potato, you know what I mean? Is it lagging for you guys? Can you guys see? The shadow we gotta make a little bit softer. We do have a blender in case we want to use that, but with airbrushing I find that you don't really want to use a blender. You want to have those non-conformist textures. That's what I call them. They're non-conformist textures. Okay. Now we want some color underneath the sash here. This is a sashy type of obi is what they would call it in Japan. It's like a sashy type of obi. I like the way this skirt is. I don't really want to ruin it too much. I like the way the airbrush came out with that. And this is underneath. Still not sure what color I want the sash to be. I lost my thought there for a second. I kind of want to have it like a nice pinky pastel-y color. Like there's good. We want that bigger. I'm much better at working with Procreate than Animate. As you can see, everything's going so much more smoothly. I'm also pretty good with Clip Studio Paint, which I've been using to put my comic in. Let's do a background so that I can see what's not colored well. I don't know what to put in the background here. Since we're doing a kind of like an airbrush, soft airbrush type of thing, we should probably go with the contrasting color. Here's my color wheel. There we go. This is really important to have for any artist. So I'm doing like a pastel-y type of red color. And let's see. Like kind of one of these. And the complementary color is actually green. But it's like a pale green. You guys see that there? See the color wheel? So we're gonna do like a greeny color, like a pastel-y kind of light color, and we're gonna make it huge. We're gonna make it huge and go across the page here. I really like the way this is turning out. I love airbrushes. Let's just talk about for a minute how airbrushing is so pretty, because it just is. Definitely one of my favorite things to do, and it's very relaxing, honestly, because it's all very random. There we go. Perfect. It's turning out pretty good, actually. So we're gonna do a little bit of blending right here specifically. I think I have airbrush blending on. Nope, I have a round brush. That's probably what is doing me wrong here. There we go. There we go. The nice airbrushy type of blending. Alright. So this is how we airbrush blend. Just kind of blends out the colors a little bit. Moves them around a little bit. Going pretty good. My webcam might not be so good here because I am looking down. Right? I know that this piece has a great line of action here. It's one of my best line of actions in my opinion. There we go. So we're just blending here. Getting everything that doesn't look blended enough blended. Don't want to blend too well though. I have a habit of blending too well. It's one of my bad habits. Pretty bad habit. I like the way this sleeve turned out, so I'm not really going to mess with it too much. There we go. What do you guys think so far? How is it? How do you guys think? It's just sketched with airbrushing underneath, so not super crazy. We're gonna airbrush this out a little bit more. There we go. See how that goes? Yep, that looks better. Let's do the hair next. So Naname's hair is like a reddish kind of brown. Like a very desaturated brown. And we have to do her hair small. With small airbrush. Right? There we go. It's kind of like a goldy brown. We're going to be adding more colors to this brown. I'm going to add like a more dark brown with a smaller nib here. I think it's turning out pretty good, honestly. I'm a fan. Okay. So now let's go over it, and so we're back on the sketch layer here. Let's sketch out a face. Naname's face is, how do I put this? We're sketching it in brown, which might not be awful, but there we go. Naname's face is kind of calm. She's got a pretty big nose though. We want the eyes here, I'd say. And they're about good size. So in order to draw eyes, or the eyes I have been drawing, I draw a circle and then the lids. Right? The left eye is always sketchier, in my opinion, from the right eye. And we're drawing the face right now so that we can have under airbrush still. She had no face, so that's kind of important. I really like that line there. I just kind of want like a guiding line in the middle. There we go. And then we could go under here. Let's see how that looks. It looks alright. Not awful. Okay. Not bad. Oops. Okay. So we're gonna add another layer. This is on top of the original airbrush. And we want to do on top because we're doing her facial features now, and the skin, we want it to be a little bit different color. Kind of want this smaller. This is all, I think it's actually a little too yellow, the color. Now the color's bleached out a little bit on my screen because it's so bright. You guys might actually see that it's a little bright on my screen here. It's got like a pinky color. Lips are super hard for me to do, but I love doing them in airbrush because they're just easier to do. We could probably actually make those lips a little bit smaller. Let's add the shadow and stuff before we make that decision. I'm having a good time. What about you guys? I'm having a pretty good time. Just doodling. Let's see. We gotta get the skin color. I'd like a redder skin color that doesn't bleed everywhere. Let's get a little bit bigger. I like to have multiple colors of skin, right? Oh. That lagged a little bit. There we go. Just really blend that out. Blend the lips out a little bit. Add a little bit more color. And like a very kind of whole face tone. Give her more reddish skin. So right now it's very orange. Except around the eyes, which is exactly what I want, actually. Not bad. What a little reddish tone underneath here. Shadows are great and really easy to add in with airbrush. Her lips are too not colorful enough over here. That's better. What do you guys think overall? Tell me what you guys think and we will move on. It does look a little bit bleached on the, just dropped my cap. Bleached on the projector a little bit. Alright, it's 7:19. We're going to go back to animating for a little bit. Let me show you guys some interesting ones that I did. This is Naname with acrylics. So she looks really good there, honestly. It's one of my favorite ones that I did. I did a night elf, which her lips could be better. Her lips are too pursed. And then some Splatoon 2 fan art, which isn't bad. Most of these aren't done. Considering I started out with stuff like, see what the, yeah, wish that was mine. So this is one of the first things I did on my iPad, right? So we went from that to what I'm doing now, which is so much better. Right? I couldn't get what I wanted before, and now I can. Like, look how good that is. Just talk about for a minute how awesome that looks, because it just does look good. I mean, considering what else? This is also one of my babies, really. Oops. This is like one of my children. One of my favorite arts. Her eyes are too big, but it was kind of intentional. So I definitely am getting better in general. This I did the other day with paint. Kind of has like a painty feel to it. Alright, let's go back to animation now. Did I just get a text message? No, right? iPads, how do they work? We're gonna be ending stream soon, so I'd say like 9 minutes. But we're going back to animation. We're going back to animation, and we're going back to this panel, and we're gonna add more panels here and such. Okay, so she is just... she's coming down again. Straight. Coming in not too far. Super quiet stream. We need some music up in here. I'm worried about copyrighted stuff, actually, so I don't really want to do music. I've been avoiding music for like a really long time. I don't want YouTube or Twitch to be like, nope, with me. I want to be safe. You want to be the safe pick, yeah? Alright, what did I miss? I'm sure I missed something. No, looks alright. Looks alright. This actually looks much worse than the sketch that I did. But we'll clean it up and it'll look better. Okay, so... we can slow it down a little bit if we'd like to make it maybe 11 frames would be good. Yeah. I think it looks fine at 12 actually. Yeah. So we're gonna do just a sketch. This is a sketch of my original computer. Super sketchy though. A little more sketchy than I'd like it to be. But I think that's the story of my life. I'm copying this from another sketch that I did of this. You guys remember the big monitors with the big bezels? Because I do, I remember. My glove doesn't go down far enough. Then the computer was actually... this is the way it was. Computer was actually down here, but it was huge. Remember when the computers were huge? It also had this whole bunch of... it had like a button here. And then it had a whole bunch of DVD, floppy, and everything, essentially. Right? DVD player with a little button. It had a whole bunch of stuff here. And it had like places to put more of that. So this frame in specific, we're gonna duplicate the frame a couple times. I like to duplicate it in case I want to make any changes to the original or any of the new ones. Okay, that lasts about a good amount. I do have a problem with my Apple Pencil where sometimes when I'm drawing, this part comes off. This is the tip, and you can change it when it runs out if you have the other tips or if you lose it or something. It hasn't even like gone down too much, and I use my iPad a lot. But yeah, just in general it comes off, it loosens up a little bit. We could probably actually duplicate the frame a little bit more, because the line is long. The line for this. It's about my parents bought a computer through the school when I was little. Now this is gonna be fun. We're gonna do a loading screen, but it's just gonna be like a whole bunch of dots, really. So we're going to do a loading screen here. Loading screen animations should be a thing all the time. But this was an animation, or this was a loading screen that I had when I was little. This is actually how I did my channel animation front. You can also duplicate the frame if you want. Actually, let me do that to show you how that does. So we go back here. We duplicate the frame once so that we already have that there and it's consistent, yeah? We don't really need to do that on the sketches because it's a pretty easy sketch. But then we duplicate the frame once and then we add another dot. So if we want to do like things appearing with already used things, that's how you do it. It's pretty easy. Pretty easy to do. Again, these are just very sketchy sketches. So we're actually not going to duplicate the frame because we're going back to this size here. And then we duplicate this frame again. Duplicate the frame once. Add another box. Duplicate the frame once. Add another box. Pretty simple. I love this app, to be honest with you. It's really easy to animate stuff. Okay. And then we're gonna do like a, I don't remember what this looked like. But I actually want to do these pages with pictures from the internet. So I'm going to leave a couple of blank frames here. Like 3 or 4 of them. Because I want to add that there. So if you guys remember how old phones looked, this is what an old phone kind of looks like. And I have the picture for this in the storyboard is essentially just a picture of a computer attached to a phone, which is pretty funny. That's not what we're going to be drawing. We're going to be drawing the phone ringing. Oops. Which is actually lagging a little bit. We're gonna actually duplicate that frame a couple times so it rings for a minute. There we go, okay. So we duplicated the frame and then we just draw a picture of the computer screen. Let's actually draw that like a little bit over to the side where it was before. If we draw it in the same, around the same spot, it'll look more even and consistent. Let's draw the picture of what the computer says when you don't have internet. Which is pretty funny. Draw what it is now. There we go. So no internet, but you could talk on the phone. This frame we're gonna repeat like twice. Not too long. Let's see how we're doing so far. Those need to be a little bit slower. Let's bring the frames down a couple. There's a couple of blank frames there. Alright. Sounds good, looks good. Oh. Trying to draw with the eraser. There's a couple reasons why that won't work. Look how slow that. Did you guys get some of that lag? I think you did. I love doodling, just sketching. Like, the inking part's gonna be so time consuming and frustrating, and the inking part's just, the sketching part's just fun. Right? Do you remember when cell phones had, or when phones had cords? I remember that. I'm gonna have like baby me on the phone. I know this is me talking, but I always pictured my face to be adorable when I was little. I was one of those little kids that was full of themselves. Thought I was adorable, knew I was adorable. Little kids always know. They play on your emotions. We're gonna want to have a hand here. Again, sketching, so we'll just have it like that. Right? Pretty simple, actually. We're not even giving anybody a neck because it's just little me, so there we go. Easy as pie to sketch in. Easy as pie. This elbow is all wrong. All wrong. It's all wrong. We're just gonna duplicate it once here. Because we're gonna do another frame of talking on the phone. You don't want to have too many repeated frames, because otherwise it just looks repeated then. I think I don't have to draw this hand right now. I don't feel like I could do it if I needed to right this second. If someone came on and was like, draw that hand now, I'd be like, don't really want to, and my eye hurts, and you know, that's where all excuses come in. I don't feel like it right now. Come back again soon. That line lagged a lot. Did anybody else tense up their shoulders when they talk on the phone? Because I do. Might just be a social anxiety thing. Okay. Alrighty guys, so that's it for the stream today. Let's go back and just review what we did. Okay. Alright, so that's it. I will see you guys later. I was streaming for a little bit longer than I wanted to. But I might stream later with some games. I don't know yet. I'm not exactly sure. Let's go back and look at that slime that I'm really proud of. Isn't he cute? Just love the way he turned out. I will see you guys later. Remember, I stream every Sunday, Monday, and Wednesday. So, you know, today is Wednesday, so I'm streaming. I'll see you guys later, and I hope you come back. Now, my normal stream time is 10 to 12 EST. But on Wednesdays, I stream earlier. It depends on the time I get back. And that's it. Bye.